Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm David, and this is my son.
Hello, I'm Isaac, and that's my dad.
We both love music and we love sharing songs with one another. Last time I shared Inca Roads by Frank Zappa. Isaac had never heard it before and got his reaction. I got the big thumbs up from him, so I got a point for that. This time, however, Isaac is going to share a song with me that I've never heard before. I don't know what it's going to be. Then we're going to talk about it. We're going to get my reaction on this song. So do you want to take it away, Isaac?
Yeah. So I'm going to be showing my dad the 2012 recording of the song Ocean by John Butler.
Where were you in 2012?
Not old. This is the song Ocean by John Butler. John Butler, Ocean, on the 11-string acoustic guitar. What'd you think?
So I know nothing about John Butler. I've never heard John Butler before. I know he's from Australia and he has a song called Ocean. That's the extent of my knowledge right now. Many years, my first acoustic guitar was a 12-string, and I remember discovering that if you took off the lower octave notes, you had a high-strung guitar, and it sounded kind of like a mandolin. It was wonderful. But anyway, this particular piece, I couldn't get past the sheer physicality of it. I was trying to picture myself playing it. Like I often, you've been in the car with me or in places like, if a song's on, like my fingers are going, or like I'm kind of bopping around to it. And the whole time I was kind of thinking, okay, what are his fingers doing here? He's got this droning thumb thing going. He's got the syncopated first and second finger. He's doing this other thing. He's doing these pull-offs and these hammers, and he's strumming so crazily. And it was long. It was like a physically impressive feat to play at that level for that amount of time. As you know, I'm left-handed, but I play the guitar right-handed. So I've never really felt like I can get those really fast strums. So I was like listening to him just go, and I just kept thinking, holy cow. But while he was doing that, he also was doing a lot of those really pretty cool syncopated pull-offs and hammer-ons. So, obviously an open tuning, and open tuning for me can be the most incredible, eye-opening, like fretboard realignment that you can encounter as a guitar player, as all of a sudden you're discovering new fingerings and new voicings for chords in really cool ways. But I have found that open tunings can often lend themselves to like a droning, sometimes repetitive or monotonous sound, sometimes lovely. I mean, certainly, masters of the art of like open tuning, like a Nick Drake can do.
I love Nick Drake.
Like,
oh my gosh.
Absolutely incredible open tuning for his guitar and never make it sound boring, because of the technicality, the precision, and the emotion that he would put into his playing. But sometimes open tunings can kind of get that way. You kind of feel like someone's just banging around on an open G string or whatever it is. But I loved the way that the tempo and the tenor kept shifting. And so it didn't feel like one sort of like, okay, I get the point. Now I got to listen to this for 12 minutes or however long it was.
Yeah, it's almost exactly 12. It's like 12 and a half, I think.
That's right. But it really, there was a real variety in not only his style of play, but also in the type of music that he was playing at that given time. Like there was that part where it almost felt like, to me, like a jig, right? And that just kind of popped out of nowhere, which I thought was really interesting. And then kind of listening to the way he was doing that thing towards the end, where he kind of had a muted bass note that he was kind of just like hammering
Mm-hmm.
while also doing like that middle string piece that was in a different, it felt like it was in a different almost time signature than what he was doing with the higher strings. It reminded me a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of like when I try and play like a Bruce Cockburn song, and
Mm-hmm.
Bruce is absolutely phenomenal at just keeping the dum bum 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 bum, like that thumb never stops, and it's independent of everything else that he's playing. And whenever I try and deconstruct a Bruce Cockburn song, that's the part that I have the hardest time with, because he's able to just do it, not think about it, and then he's focused on what the other fingers are doing. Whereas I'm always thinking about like, okay, I got to keep my thumb going at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to a lot of that as well. And here, it was reminiscent for me of that. So I thought I really enjoyed it. There was a variety. It was surprising, and I was just really struck by the physical piece of playing. It's almost like when you go to like an orchestra, and I
Mm-hmm.
think people think I maybe sometimes think that classical music is just like really refined and like no, like people playing in formal wear. And then you go and watch them play, and they're so impassioned and it's so physical, and they are
Mm-hmm.
working and they are living that music. And I felt some of that in here as well. Like he was
Yeah.
in that space in that moment, and he was playing with like everything that he had. So I'm gonna throw it back at you. Like, why did you choose this song?
I think the reason why I chose it is because I recently found myself listening to it again for the first time in a couple of months, and just sort of reminded me how much I love it.
Mm.
This is one of my favorite recordings on YouTube, but I don't really know much else by John Butler, which is kind of surprising because I love this recording so much. I come back to this recording all the time. It's one of my favorite videos. I don't know. There's just something about it it feels so hopeful. Like there's so much joy in it.
Mm.
Like I don't know if you were watching the video as you were listening.
I was not. I was really trying to just focus on the music.
Like when I watch that video after having not seen it in a long time, like I get teary. There's something about it, just like I don't know what it is. Like I couldn't put a finger on it. But something about it is just so like emotional to me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really explain it.
Have you attempted to try and play the song?
No, I have not. Although I do very much enjoy just jamming on open tunings.
Yeah.
Like especially like late at night, turn on the colored lights, see, and just like sit on the floor and just like jam on an open tuning.
Another part that stood out to me was the percussive hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how he had separated out, right? He was using his strumming hand to do the percussion on the body of the guitar while he was doing the pull-offs and hammer-ons over here on the fretting. I remember, I guess, a few things. One, I think the first person I ever saw do that like percussive thing on the guitar was Nuno Betancourt from Extreme in More Than Words. And I think it was when I had first heard it off that album, Porno Graffiti. And I was like, whoa. I was reminded also of some of the looping of tracks that, you sometimes will see a single musician with like a guitar and just like a looping pedal. And so I saw him doing what you could do with like a little bit of technology, but he was doing it without any of that technology, which I thought was pretty awesome. You've listened to it dozens of times, hundreds of times, thousands of times at this point?
Many times.
Okay, listen to it a lot. Do you remember like how you found it or how you felt when you first heard it?
When I haven't heard the song in a long time, it makes me tear up. And so the first time I heard it, it was very emotional.
Was it like one of those moments where the song was playing and you kind of stopped what you were doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe you had another tab open or another window open and you were like,
oh, yes, very much. I think I was writing a paper.
When was that, do you think?
A couple of years ago. I'm not sure exactly how many, but.
And this is the first time you're sharing it with me?
So there is Ocean by John Butler for your consideration. So what's your final verdict?
Final verdict is a thumbs up. I liked it on, I think, 3 levels. I liked the composition of it. I liked the technicality of it, and I liked just the pure physical impressiveness of the
I would
entire.
recommend watching the video. It's one thing to hear it and imagine what it would look like. It's another to see it happening in front of you.
I really love that you shared the song with me, a song that you feel makes you happy, makes you feel hopeful. And I think that's an incredible thing that music can give to us. And I really love that we are doing this together. And next time, I'm going to be sharing another song with you. Get ready for that. I'm gonna come with something unexpected.
All right.
Unexpected for me too, because I'm not sure what it is yet, but it's gonna be good.
Fair enough.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.